Hello, everyone. Welcome to my show, The Magic of Failure. Today is my launch, and today is the first episode. And before I introduce to my first guest, let me brief you why did I started this magic of failure, and what's the reason to start this show. Now, this show is all about failures. You might be wondering what a name, the magic of failure, because everyone talks about success. No one talks about failure. Now, the reason behind to start the show was my past story. I went through a lot of challenges in my life, a lot of failures starting from my childhood. And when I decided to transform my life, I had fear that how I can share my failure story. I was failed in 12th standard, I was failed in graduation, I was failed in back-to-back corporate interviews, I was failed in my three business, and I was always scared that who would love to listen to my failure story. But whatever I am today, whatever success I have got till now, it's all because of my failures, is because of my past. And most of us have some or the other kind of story. You might have gone through some kind of failures, but you don't know that your story is so powerful that it can inspire so many people. And then I thought about this concept where I wanted to inspire people like me. There are so many people who have gone through so many challenges, so many obstacles, so many failures in their life, and they have bounced back to become their best version of themselves, which I call as version 2.0. Now, what you will learn from this interview, where I'll be inviting people who have failed n number of times in their life and they have bounced back. First, you will see the journey, the background, the way they failed in their life and how they bounce back. And what are the things they did which made them successful, which made them become the best version of themselves. And now they are all version 2.0. So there'll be a lot of learnings. It's not just monotonous interview or like the serious interview. We'll have some fun and you'll enjoy this episode. So today I'm very glad and I'm very happy to invite my first guest, and I'm really thankful and grateful to her that she accepted the invitation. And I know her around 2 years, and she has an amazing story. I got inspired by her story when I met her first time, and she has gone through a lot of struggle, a lot of pain, and now she has become the best version of herself. So, without taking time, let me introduce my first guest, Aureen Monteiro. Aureen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Here
Hi,
comes
Amol.
Aureen. Hi.
Thank you for having me on Magic of Failure. I'm so excited to be here. How are you?
I'm doing great, Aureen. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And you're my first guest. And I know my show will be rocking because Lady Luck matters. And I believe in that. So thank you so much for accepting my invitation and coming in my show. Thank you so much.
Glad to be a part of this.
Great. So, Aureen, before I start the first question, can you brief about your backstory so that my audience can get connected with you?
Yes, so Amol, I was like any other girl raised in a small town in India. And even though I was from a small town, I had big dreams. So I had a lot of dreams and I faced a lot of taunts, insults, mockery because I had big dreams. And I know many others also, face all of this, not only in their childhood, but in their growing up years as well. What I want to share with you and all your listeners and everybody tuning into the show, Magic of Failure. For every success that you see and all the success stories that you see, there is a reason behind it. Success doesn't come just overnight, and the fuel that burns inside the person and sparks and lets your spirit become strong is because of a very strong reason behind it, a purpose, a reason to live a meaningful life. So let me share some of the things that I have faced in my life, because of which I am what I am today. And I do not have a regret for any of them. If someone had to ask me, go back all these years and change them, I would say no, because I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I'm glad I was insulted, I'm glad I was mocked, and I'm very happy that I was taunted, because of which it caused that fuel in me. So when I was small, the first thing that I had encountered in grade 4 was when one of my uncles, he had mocked my father. The reason being, my father did not earn as much as him, and it hurt me a lot. That is one of the major reasons that has driven me to where I am today. And I did not feel I was due for what I had heard. It was not my father's fault. He has given me and my brother the best of education, the best of love, the best of values, and the support that any father could give. And I love him the most. Somehow, some people get affected by this. They retract into a deep shell and they don't come out of it. They feel they're worthless and they feel they don't belong to this world. So I did not share this story, but I want to share this now openly and let everybody know that it is not only you who goes through this, everybody else also goes through this. Don't stay down there. Just remember when you were learning to ride a bicycle when you were small, and you would try on your training wheels, and then you will say, okay, let me do it myself. The first time or the second time, you will even fall down, hurting your knees. It doesn't mean you will sit down and cry over there. You will pick yourself up, or you will stretch your hand out to somebody and say, hey, pick me up. And you will learn to ride that bicycle very nicely. The same way, life will kick us down, knock us down, throw us down. It's up to us to dust the knees, get up, and say, I will conquer this.
Wow. Love this.
So that's been one of driving factor. And as you've known, we've chatted before. There were many things. So right from school days, being unable to get barely passing marks in a regional language, to topping this subject in grade 10 with a score that has never been achieved in the school, getting 92 out of 100, whereas the previous score was 84 out of 100. So these moments are something that just keeps getting you more confident by the day.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody needs to understand that no matter what happens,
Mm-hmm.
always look out for why did you start in the first place, and
Wow.
don't give up.
Wow.
So everybody has a reason, everybody has a dream. Don't let that dream remain a dream. Let it just become a reality and see how happy you are.
Wow, this is awesome. Few analogy, I really loved it. I still remember when I started driving my bicycle, I fall so many times, but I never give up. And yeah, whenever we start our journey, and when we remember our childhood days, we never give up. When we were a small child, we started crawling. Okay, then we started slowly walking, but we never give up. We tried our best as a child. We had this wonderful quality that will not give up. But as we start growing, few people they quit before they complete certain tasks. They start with excitement, but they don't try to finish the task. It's such a great analogy. Thank you so much, Oren, for sharing this. So, Oren, everyone has a dream in their life. Everyone want to reach at certain position. So, my second question is, what is it you wanted to accomplish in life?
I always felt that being in a position of power could help not only me change my circumstances, financial independence, however, also I will be able to help many people. From the time I was a kid, I was very
Mhm.
passionate about education, not only for myself, but the kids who are underprivileged, like the orphans and the very poor people. So from my pocket money, I would send some money to sponsor these kids' education. It was very surprising for my family, my relatives at that age to see me doing that. They thought probably it's a phase and I might get over it. But then it
Mhm.
only grew stronger, and right now I dedicate a portion of my income that goes completely towards helping these kids in their education. And when I receive an email or letter telling me how many kids have been benefited from this, and what my contribution has been towards their life, it gives me immense pleasure. And it only tells me that I need to do more and earn more so that I help more.
Wow, you're doing some amazing, amazing work. I also believe in the same thing that if you add value in the universe, or if you are a good giver, universe, God will respond you with lot of abundance, with a lot of success. Powerful, very powerful. Now, see, everyone has some kind of belief. Now what I think, there are two beliefs: the external and the internal, the external world and the internal belief. So my third question, because I have gone through so many limiting beliefs that I was carrying since my childhood days. So I want to understand from you, what were the external and internal struggles that you were dealing with?
External, I would say, would be the stimuli that would come in terms of the environment, the people
Hmm.
that you're surrounded with, and the talks that you get to hear.
Correct.
And internally, it's your own talk, your self talk.
Mm,
So let me speak about the recent past.
mm,
When I was working, I had started off from one of the entry level in the organization
mm,
to where I am today.
mm,
And across the roles that I've played,
mm,
have dealt with some wonderful people who have been my mentors. They have been my friends. We are still friends, and we still reach out to each other. However, there will also be some toxic people, and it's unavoidable. In
mm,
every industry, you will, in every phase of life, whether you're
mm,
working or not,
mm,
you will meet such people
mm,
who, for whatever reasons, whether they are jealous, whether that's
mm,
the way they are, but they will
mm,
say something, they will act in a manner which may not be of something that you have expected. And
mm,
what happened is I started taking things personally. And
mm,
I did not know how this was impacting me until a day wherein 5 out of my 7 muscles had contracted. And I could not get up from my bed. It took me almost half an hour to reach the door of my room. And when I had walked into the doctor's room, the clinic, he was surprised. He's like, somebody of these many muscle contractions, and I lived with it for 4 days. I was still going to office. He said the muscle should release from it, the position that is contracted, within a couple of minutes. You could have had a stroke, you could have lost your life. And you are here, coming into my clinic at this stage. Do you even understand what are you causing? And that was the first wake up call. And then, after my physiotherapy sessions, which lasted for over a month, it took me time for me to even start brushing my own teeth and combing my hair. So everything was difficult. And I remember this conversation with my physio, and she asked me, what do you think should be, couple of months down the line, what do you see yourself doing that was completely different, something that you hadn't done? And we were just joking about it, and she was talking about a marathon. And I did not have any practice of running until then. I just told her, I said, yeah, it would be fun for me to also participate in that marathon. And we both laughed again. And
mm,
then I said, no, I'm serious. Actually, let's give it a chance. So let me do a 5K, if not the entire
mm,
marathon, but let me start. And it was just 3 months left. And I started practicing, I started exercising, started the right diet, and she was there to guide me along the way, and we both did the run together. So the day that I had successfully completed that marathon, it was not the medal, finishing medal, that mattered the most, but it was the confidence that
wow.
3 months back, if I
Mm,
had lay down in the bed, given
mm,
up on everything and said, no, I'm not going to work, I don't like those toxic people, this is what has if I treated myself to a pity party, I wouldn't have come. So I'm glad it happened, and I continue running after that.
okay, wow.
So it's good.
Wow, great. So, Orin, see, you started your self development industry 2 years back when I met you, when I met you in one of the workshop for mentors. And I want to understand, why did you thought to start investing in your self development? What was the realization phase? Because I went through the realization phase where I thought I need a mentor or a coach or a guru who can help me to change my life, because I went through a lot of failures and a lot of struggles. But I got my realization phase in 2017, and in 2018 I started my transformation journey where I started finding my mentors. So what happened with you? When you got that realization phase, and when you thought that I want to grow now, I want to become the best version of myself, and I want some mentor or coach who can help me. So how did it happen?
Yeah, it's not that you just go to sleep and wake up in the morning and
Yes.
say this is a bright idea that
Hmm.
came. I wouldn't say that. If I would be doing that, it's a lie.
Hmm.
This has been a very constant thing right from the first job that I had taken, the first role
Hmm.
that I had played.
Hmm.
What I
Hmm.
thought was
Hmm.
the minimum time I required to spend in that role, to excel in it, to give back to the organization, to contribute, and to justify that,
Hmm.
is what I was meant to do. And
Hmm.
so I moved laterally, vertically, moved across departments, where companies, and still I realized that there was something missing. Even though I was very happy with what I was doing, I was contributing my best, I was acknowledged, I was winning awards, everything was good. Still, I felt that there had to be another purpose for what I was doing. And that search was continuing. And I felt I wasn't doing my best yet. And that search for that answer led me to meet many people, meet Dev and Ron, and look for mentorship programs wherein I can live the reason I am here on planet Earth, live my purpose, and be completely who I'm supposed to be.
Hmm. Wow, great. Now, I want to ask you, when you started your mentorship program and when you started your transformation journey, what was the plan you that created to achieve your dreams? Because that was a new version, that you're enrolling in a mentorship program, you want to change your life. So what was the plan you thought that you want to achieve, that you created for yourself?
Yeah. So everything started coming into place like a jigsaw puzzle. You
Mhm.
have all these pieces, and
Mhm.
you have a vague picture in your mind.
Mhm.
So all my adversities, whatever setbacks I have failed
Mhm.
in life and I have faced, I felt all these were important and integral parts of that jigsaw puzzle. And I still remember, the day when I met Dave, and we were discussing this. I told him I need to understand what was the reason why I had to go through all of this. And we
Mhm.
had a lot of discussion around this. And when I realized
Mhm.
what was driving me behind this is the oppression.
Mhm.
I do not like being oppressed in
Mhm.
any manner
Mhm.
by somebody's thoughts, by somebody's opinion, or having me being placed in a particular bucket.
Mhm.
And I do not wish for any other woman to go
Mhm.
through what I am going through.
Mhm.
And this has been a very driving force
Mhm.
behind all my actions. Whether I knew it or not,
Mhm.
subconsciously, that was a
Mhm.
factor that was driving
Mhm.
me. And when I
Mhm.
realized that this is what I'm passionate about,
Mhm.
I decided to make it my mission. So,
Okay.
right now, I'm on a mission to liberate the spirits of 1 billion people across the globe in helping them get back their right for happiness.
Wow, that's really, really amazing. You're carrying a great mission, and I know you'll achieve this mission. And really, best of luck, and all my blessings are there with you to achieve this mission. Great. Now, what are the challenges that you faced when you started transforming your life? There might be because it's not easy to transform our life, correct? It takes a lot of patience, a lot of hard work, because you're managing a job plus you're teaching some new concepts from mentors. So what are the challenges that you faced during the journey?
Yeah. So one biggest challenge I faced was getting myself to complete a particular task. It
Mhm.
might sound odd or strange for a person like me who is very organized as everybody else thinks, my
Mhm.
parents and
Mhm.
my organization, my colleagues. What I realized is I was becoming overwhelmed
Mhm.
because I had so many things to do, and I felt 24 hours was very less.
Mhm.
And that's when the next wake up call happened. So
Mm,
I started putting a lot of pressure on myself, and I was still taking things personally, which I
mm,
did not stop doing.
mm,
It was still affecting me because I didn't know how to not let it affect me until
mm,
then.
mm,
And this was like 1.5 years ago,
mm.
very recent. And I just had lunch and returned back to my desk in office, and I had a brain stroke.
Oh.
So I had to be rushed to the hospital immediately, and the doctor had to ask me to undergo a couple of tests to see to the extent to which the brain had been damaged. Thankfully, thank God for this, there wasn't any damage, any permanent damage. It was just a temporary thing which could be reversed. And when I lay down on the table for my
Mm,
scan to be done,
mm,
that is when I realized
mm,
I need to start thinking of how I'm living my life.
mm,
Is it worth taking all this
mm,
pressure, the stress, and will I accomplish my dreams
mm,
in this manner? And what I realized is one big mistake I was doing is setting things as per the time and
mm,
number of tasks. And what
mm,
I had to be practical about is whether I can accomplish one or two, concentrate on one or two things per day, rather than have 10 things on my mind and say I have to do all the 10 things and then be upset about not being able to do the 10 things. So I had this habit of journaling. And what I also added after this is at the end of the day, me and my daughter, we would think of three things that went well. So we started this on a regular basis. So every night before going to sleep, we think about three things that happened the best for that day. So it gives you a satisfaction that you mastered the day and
wow.
not that the day has been a master of you. So I feel this is one of the few things that has helped change the way I think and the way I act.
Wow, this is superb. So the one concept which I liked, that you and your daughter before going to bed write three things which went well and which are grateful for. And I firmly believe in this concept of being gratitude. So most of the time we are not grateful for the things which we have in our life, and we always skip. And I also follow the same thing, the five things which I'm really grateful for. And that's a message to the audience, that you also need to feel that you have a lot of strength and be grateful for whatever you have in life. And the good thing is journaling, what Orin told. And you can have one book or one journal, and every day you can write this activity, because probably being gratitude has played an important role in my life, and I guess it has played an important role in your life also. So very profound, you have said that having a journal and writing before you go to sleep of things which you're grateful for is really amazing. Great. Now, the next question: what was the end result that you achieved after becoming the best version of yourself? You went through a transformation journey. There were a lot of challenges. You went to the doctor, you got a bit of, there was a concern about your health, but again you didn't give up, and you completed the journey of the mentorship program, and you're really doing some amazing work. I'm following you on LinkedIn, on Facebook. You write good quotes. Today only I saw one of your content on passion and purpose. You're doing something amazing work. So how is your life now? The old Orin, which I call as the old version of Orin, and the new version of Orin, which I call as version 2.0. How has the new life look like now? What
Oh,
kind of
it's
changes you have
amazing.
seen? Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Physically, I may not be, very different. I
Mm-hmm.
might be the still, look still the same.
Mm-hmm.
However, internally, there has been a lot of change.
Wow.
So there are times when I used to, version one, when I used to be scared of, attempting something that I haven't done in the past. Now I'm very confident that if not, succeeding in that task, I'll at least learn from it. So it doesn't stop me from trying out new things.
Mm-hmm.
That is one big difference. And the other thing is, I don't let anything affect me. It's very easy to say that, it's very easy to hear that, but when you think of something, whether you can control or not, just
Mm-hmm.
think of it for a moment. Can you control somebody saying something? No. So then don't worry about it. Can you control how you are going to respond to it? Yes. Can you control how you're going to react to it? Yes. So I
Wow.
would say there are always certain triggers that will be there when you know you're going to a particular environment. if
mm,
it's an invitation that you have accepted, you know the kind of people that will be there. You can assume and judge the kind of remarks that you may get to hear, so
mm,
you can plan your responses. Do not
mm,
wait to react.
mm,
And the moment you understand there will be some triggers in the environment, and you know this is what will happen and you cannot control it,
mm.
that's when you start living as a master of your emotions. You don't let the emotions master you.
Wow, wow, this is so
So I think
powerful.
this has been a remarkable change in me in the past few months, or the last 1 year.
So my next question, Orin, there are so many people, they know that they are going through some kind of challenges in their life. They're going through some kind of obstacles, but they don't want to change. Either they don't believe in it, or either they think, is it right to invest in my personal development? Okay. So what's the message to our audience who want to change, but something is stopping them? So what kind of message would you like to share to our audience?
Very nice and interesting question, Amol. I could relate this back to the time when I had just given birth to my daughter Amy, and things were fine until a couple of months down the line. I started putting on weight to an extent that I had gone to almost 138 kgs,
Oh,
and clothes couldn't fit me. So I remember I had walked into lifestyle, and I couldn't fit into jeans anymore, and I wanted to buy jeans. And then the lady over there, she recognized me because every month I would go there for a different size. And then she just said this, "Madam, iske aage nahi milega."
okay. Wow. Okay. I get it.
So the thing is, that also didn't stop me to think I should do
Hmm.
something about my weight.
Hmm.
My husband would call me baby elephant. My brother would say Humpty Dumpty. Still, it didn't matter. People were trying to motivate me, but it didn't. Nothing mattered.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's only when I walked into my gynec's office,
Hmm.
and then she was giving me a big lecture.
Hmm.
Nothing affected me until and unless she spoke a few words, and she said, "If you don't stop putting on more weight, you will complicate things." And that one word, complicate, struck me. And then I asked her, "Doctor, what did you say?" And she said, "Yes, you need to stop putting on weight, whether you reduce or not, but you need to stop." And somewhere down that line, that one word has been a constant driver for me to sustain the lost weight. So it's been 8 years since I've come back to where I was, around 60 kgs. So I fluctuate between 58 and 62. So this is a plus and minus 2 kgs. But every time I think of food, if I want to eat something, I can't control chocolates and sweets and ice creams. I ensure that I burn those extra calories. So for everybody, this is just an example. No matter what you want to do, if you have an external stimulus, if you say somebody should stop calling me names, somebody should praise me, that will be a motivational factor only for some time. Unless you have a burning desire inside, no matter what information is in front of you. Today the internet gives so much of information to lose weight. Why do you think people are still obese?
Hmm.
There has to be a very strong reason for someone to actually lose that weight and then sustain that lost weight. Otherwise, you can still lose weight, but after some time, you can still gain back that lost weight.
Hmm.
So think whatever you want to do, think what is the reason. And I love this book by Simon Sinek, Why. So
Hmm.
it all starts with the why. Ask yourself why until and unless you reach the answer. You will get an answer. What is the actual reason why you want to do something? And when you have this actual reason at the back of your mind, nothing will stop you. You will become unstoppable.
Wow, this is amazing, and I love this book. Start with Why, Simon Sinek, because when I started my transformation journey, for every step I was asking why I want to lose weight, why I want to invest in my personal development, why I need a mentor, why I want to impact people life. Oh, this is an amazing, and I would recommend to all my audience who is watching this interview, go ahead and read this book. Start with Why. It's one of the very very powerful book, and most of the time we don't know why, and if your why is not clear, it isn't, it will not happen. So thank you so much for bringing this book name, and I will definitely recommend to all my audience to go and read this book. Great. Now, I've heard that you're launching your own book, and it's such a proud feeling when once you launch your book. I want to first of all congratulate that you're launching a book, and it is one of the proud feeling. So, can you tell our audience what this book all about and why the audience should read this book?
Yeah, thank you, Amol. So, my audience for this book, Rise Higher: 9 Steps for a Woman to Become Successful and
Can you
Be the
can you repeat? Can you repeat again? It's a powerful name. Can you repeat again?
Yeah, Rise Higher: 9 Steps for a Woman to Overcome Any Challenge, Become the Leader She Deserves to Be, and Do What She Loves.
Wow.
So, the reason behind me writing this book, which releases in August, 5th of August, and is because whatever I have gone through, my experience is backed up with science. So there has been research by Harvard University, a couple of other universities that I have put together, and this framework is being patented, so it will be trademarked. And this is a 9 step process that, if followed, for sure will get you the best personality trait on the planet. So you will live life the way you're supposed to be.
Wow. I can see the passion, the way you're talking about your book, the expression, and I'm sure this book will be one of the best selling book. I can, like, because see, once you do something with passion, with whole heart, no one can stop. And best of luck for your book, and I would definitely recommend to all my audience to take this book as soon as this book is out, because this book can really change someone's life. Thank you so much for like a briefing about your book. Now, Oren, uh, what message you would like to give to our audience, because there are so many people who want to change their life, who want to do something great in their life, who want to become successful in life. But what I believe, that most of the time people focus on their passion and purpose, and they don't focus on the roots. Now, my definition of roots is your mindset, your limiting belief, your self image, your habit, your fear, and your attitude. And these are internal things. If you don't work on internal things, external thing will really not work. So identifying passion and purpose is secondary thing. So what message you would like to give to audience, how they can work on their roots, or how they can work on their inner system?
Yeah. So Amol, everybody values something.
Hmm.
So for me, it would be my faith, my belief, integrity, honesty. For you, it will be your dedication, your hard work. So like that, everybody has their own values, and it's very imperative that we identify and stand by them. So
Hmm.
when I say I do not like oppression,
Hmm.
so what I value is freedom.
Hmm.
Freedom of doing something,
Hmm.
freedom of thinking something,
Hmm.
freedom of living the way I want to live.
Hmm.
So that is something I value the most. And
Hmm.
if you say this is what you value, take responsibility for it. Do
No.
not blame anyone, do not blame circumstances, do not blame the environment that you're in. You can't control that. What you can control is the action that you can take. So small steps will lead into an avalanche. So when you think of an avalanche that happens in a hillside, it's just a small snowflake. But when it tumbles down the mountain, it slowly gains momentum, and that snowflake becomes such a big ball, causing an avalanche. So unless and until you start, unless and until you take the very first step, you are not going to escalate anything and put momentum of anything into action. So I would say, think of, spend some time, think of what you value the most. What is it that you want in life, and take responsibility.
Wow, this is really awesome. I agree with what you have said, because I also believe in taking that small baby steps and take 100% responsibility to change your life. You can't blame your parents, you can't blame your friends, you can't blame your external world. So I can correlate with whatever like statement that you have like given in today's talk. Taking the responsibility, believing in yourself, not to quit, and taking that small steps every day. That's such a wonderful, great. Or in the last question, what is the one message you would like to give to the audience, the one message which can change their life, or no, they might have an aha moment? What is the one message would you like to give to my audience, in fact to our audience?
This is something that keeps repeating in my head multiple times, so I would like to share this. They may have read about this earlier, but think about it. If I did not win this time, it does not mean I cannot win the next time.
Oh wow, this is such a profound. I have, yes, I've seen this quote, and wow, this is really amazing. Great. So, Oren, if our audience would like to interact with you, would like to connect with you, how they can connect with you?
They can connect with me on my socials.
Okay, on
So
social media,
I'm
or you're on LinkedIn, Facebook,
yeah,
Instagram?
I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, great. So I hope everyone had learned something on this amazing interview. And in case if you want to connect with Orion, in case if you want some kind of help from her, because she believes in giving a lot of value, she believes in helping people. So if you need any help, any guidance, go and connect with her on social media. She's on LinkedIn, she has Facebook, and she's on Instagram. So Orion, thank you so much. It was really nice talking to you, and you have shared some amazing wisdom and nuggets, and I hope our audience would enjoy. And guys, make notes and start your journey to become the best version of yourself. Thank you so much, Oren. Nice to connect with you. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Amol, for having me on Magic of Failure. And it was my pleasure being here, and I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.